Welcome back. All right, expansion. So we're down to Colorado today in the expansion list, which means it's Columbus tomorrow and then Dallas. And Colorado, they got some work to do here. Now, it is possible that Erik Johnson waives his no movement clause. As I've been saying in other videos, we can't assume a guy's going to waive his no movement clause. It's there for a reason. Johnson might be like, I don't want to go to Seattle. I don't want to be exposed to go to Seattle. Seattle might be like, yeah, no, he shouldn't waive, because then we have a better shot at getting somebody really good. Now, the options up front, honestly, it's pretty easy to figure out who they're going to protect. Now, I know some of these guys are UFAs in 2021, but Brandon Saad, as recently as yesterday, expressed an interest in staying in Colorado. Do not rule out extensions for these guys. So you've got Rantanen, McKinnon, Landeskog, those are all automatics. Yeah, those guys all get protected, absolutely. They're all fantastic players. Saad, Burakovsky, Kadri. That makes total sense. And then I protected Comfer as well. Meaning that up front, Donskoy, Calvert, Nichushkin, and Jost would all be notables among those that are available. Jost could use with some kind of a change in his career. And I've said for a while that I think if Colorado does move Tyson Jost, and there have been rumors on and off about that might be best for the player and for the team. Nichushkin has undergone a huge metamorphosis as a member of Colorado. He's been great, but it's on the blue line things get interesting. So Johnson, like I said, no movement clause. He has to be protected. And then you've got Girard and Makar, who obviously would get protected. There's no debate in my eyes about who, in my mind, about who should get protected. Girard and Makar are automatic. They're fantastic, which means Ian Cole, Devon Taves, and Ryan Graves would be left unprotected. I have to think Seattle would take Graves. But what about Francouz and net? So Grubauer, I think, gets protected. Now, it's possible they protect Francouz and expose Grubauer. And it's possible that Seattle would look at Grubauer and say, okay, cool. But Taves and Graves don't just rhyme. They both would actually be, I would think, quite attractive options for the Seattle expansion team. So Seattle Kraken, the job they have ahead of them is simple. Figure out which one of these players they want. And if you are Joe Sakic, do you try to make a trade so that you don't have to worry about losing one of either Devon Taves or Ryan Graves? They just got Taves from the Islanders. And let's just say that Johnson decides, okay, I'm going to waive. So Johnson comes over here. Johnson can be in the unprotected list. Johnson's not the one they're going to take. I don't think so anyways. Do you protect Taves or Ryan Graves? I think you probably protect Taves between the two. But then Ryan Graves, you're basically handing off to Seattle. And then is it worth it for you to hand Seattle, say, a second-round draft pick, maybe another player, along with that in order to make sure you keep Graves? Colorado, deep team, and some interesting options. One that's interesting to me, too, is I could see a situation where Colorado would offer up a draft pick to Seattle in exchange for them taking, say, Matt Calvert. Calvert's a good player. He's not too old. And he could be a good pickup for Seattle as an expansion pick. So, yeah, Colorado, they've got some work to do. And even if, as I said, Johnson waives his no movement clause, they are going to be exposing a pretty decent defenseman to the expansion draft. And that's when Vegas gives them a call. Hey, so we're not in the expansion draft. It'd be a shame if you guys lost Graves for nothing, wouldn't it? So how about you talk to us? And that's where that conversation starts. Who would you take if you're Seattle on this list? And who would you protect if you're Colorado to try to prevent one of those players from going? Again, up front, I could see Comfer being exposed if they decided to protect Jost, but I can't see that happening. I can't. Maybe if they were exposing Comfer just with the idea that, okay, Seattle, you're going to take JT Comfer and we're going to keep the guys on the blue line. But there's some work to be done. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.